to one half of the Wool Gathering podcast. This week is our solo but together episode with Meredith and I. So I am Natasha. You can find me on Instagram as Natasha Knits and on Ravelry as Natasha LeBlanc. You can find our Ravelry group if you search the Wool Gathering podcast on Ravelry, just Wool Gathering podcast. And I'm going to kick things off this week by saying hello and happy holidays. I have quite the setup going on right now in my living room so that I could position myself in front of our beautiful Christmas tree. And this is just going to be, I'm just home on my lunch break, so this is just going to be a quick episode. I don't have, as you all know, I've been working on the cardigan for my sister, so I don't have too much to talk about because that has been taking over my life. So was my birthday. I also celebrated a birthday, so that's made me very busy as well. So yes, Meredith, you'll see Meredith as well in this episode, and then next episode you'll see us together, which will be the Christmas special. I just want to thank all of you new and returning viewers. Thank you so much for checking us out if you're new, and thanks so much for coming back again if you're a returning viewer. This has been just the most fun, just Meredith and I getting to hang out more often because of the podcast, and just the Ravelry group has been really fun, the chatter and just general I don't know, knitters are just so nice, and it's fun. It's really fun to have the Ravelry group, and you guys are super active, and it's exciting to check on it every day, a couple times a day. Rosa's kicking around here. Rosa, stop it. Oh, underneath the Christmas tree. This is her first Christmas with us, so we didn't know how she was going to react with the presents under the tree and the Christmas tree as well. So far, so good, except for right now. So I am going to move right into FOs. And when Meredith and I last spoke about what we were going to do for this podcast, I didn't have an FO, but I do now. Rosa, stop. I finished my sister's Grace cardigan, which I initially said I wanted to have in the mail by December 2nd. It is now Monday, December 14th. It's going in the mail today. I just need to sew the buttons on and then go to the post office when I'm done work. So, here we have it. Blocked. I just took it off my blocking mats. Unique's Grace cardigan. Now, you can see I've never alternated skeins. That's not something I think my brain... I mean, eventually I'm going to have to do it. I'm sure that I will. But I just didn't. And I've knit 3 of these sweaters and I have yet to alternate skeins. I usually use one whole skein for the body, and then a skein for the sleeves, and then whatever I have left over for the picking up the neckline and the collar. But this time you can, I don't want to point it out, no one's going to notice, but you can see on the bottom where there's more light blue. It's fine. It's fine. So this is the Grace cardigan by Jane Richmond, and the only modifications that I made, this is the size 40. The 2 that I have knit for myself are the size 38, and I just wanted to go up. I think I could handle this size as well, and I want to keep this for myself so bad. The only modification that I made was that I did a twisted rib. It's a 1x1, and I just find that I have a really loose 1x1 rib, so I opted for a twisted rib instead, just to tighten it up a little bit. I think it looks really nice. So soft. So it's done. I just need to sew the buttons on. My husband and Sean and I went to Fabricville yesterday to pick up some buttons, and my Grace cardigan that I have that's in kind of the green color, greenish blue, has black buttons, but I decided to go with a nice brown. And there's some hints of brown in this blue, so I think it's gonna look nice. So I need to sew those on ASAP. Pop this bad boy in the mail. See you later, Grace cardigan. It feels so good to have it done. We were out running errands yesterday, and it was home drying, and I said to Sean, I feel so much better now knowing that I don't feel I should be home working on that cardigan right now. So, yay! that's my FO. That's all I got.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a Wool Gathering podcast. My name is Meredith, and I'm recording from outside of Fredericton, New Brunswick. My Instagram and my Ravelry names are Meroshop, Mereoshop, and we also have a group on Ravelry called Wool Gathering Podcast. As you can see, I'm solo this week. This is one of the off weeks where Natasha and I record separately. So you're going to be hearing from her if you haven't already, and me. We're going to alternate and splice it all together. Hopefully you enjoy yourself watching. We're always open to feedback from our viewers, and we'd love to hear what you think of the podcast. There's a comment thread, a welcome thread in the Ravelry group. So please join us there too if you enjoy watching the podcast. I wanted to start out this week by talking about finished objects. This is becoming a theme because I don't have any that I can show you. I do have one that's almost done, but I guess that doesn't make it a finished object. Anyway, I have lots. There's things that I should have finished, but I don't. So that'll be a quick segment.
Moving right along into my works in progress. I have Megan's socks on my needles. Finally, I cast those on Saturday morning and worked on the toe early Saturday morning, and then we went out for breakfast, one of our favorite cafes, Cinnamon Soul Cafe. So I knit there, and I just have a little bit done. I can't show you, but I can show you they're in this adorable little, my new whip basket that I got from a friend for my birthday. So that's great. I'm so excited to have those cast on because I mean, sock knitting, it just makes me really happy, and I know I'm not stressed out. I can finish that, no problem. So that's my whip, and then I also have my Christmas socks from our Christmas sock knit along in the group. Don't even know what bag. They're in my Maple Mousse Fibers bag. Love it. I put a little zipper pull on it. I got it at Michael's. Some fuzz. So I have not knit on these socks since the Saturday that we cast on November 28th. And I knit on them at a knit night with my girlfriends one night, and that's all I've done. So I'm almost done the first sock. It's just gorgeous. I just need to probably another inch, and then I'll start the ribbing, and I'm going to do an afterthought heel on these. So Meredith and I are both knitting the same yarn for this. So it is Opal. It's the pop music colorway, or the Sounds of Christmas if it's translated. Someone in the group, I forget your name, but you translated it for us. So there are Sounds of Christmas socks, which is beautiful. This is the tag. So I'm having a really good time knitting those. I just find that it's magical. When I'm knitting them in public, people say, "Are you doing that? Are you doing something to make that happen?" And I say, no, it's just knitting magic. I can't even wrap my head around it. It's just gorgeous. And I'm using my Knitter's Pride Carbons US 1. I love them. And they're pretty. They match the socks. So those, I'm not stressed out. I know that I'll have these done and I'll be able to wear them on Christmas. I don't know if I'm going, depending on my outfits, my sister-in-law and I buy matching dresses for Christmas Eve. So if it's a red or green dress, I'll wear my socks over my tights, but I might wear them Christmas Day as well. It just depends on the outfits. And once Megan's socks are done, I'm going to knit exclusively on Megan's socks this week, and then next week I'll just work on these and finish them up, and 2 pairs of socks done and done. I'm not even stressed out anymore. I love it. So those are my whips. I do have my mom's sweater. It's still, there's probably 30 rows left and that will be done Haven't touched it. I will do that after Christmas. And I also have my Cozy Memories blanket that I haven't touched in forever. So I can't wait until Christmas Eve or Christmas morning when I can finally work on that. Again, the girlfriend who gave me, Cheryl, actually, you guys have met her. She gave me this basket. She had this basket and then all the mini skeins were just in the bottom. So that was really sweet and I can't wait to add them.
What's that noise? My next section I want to talk about, or the next section I want to talk about, are my works in progress. So one of the first things I have here is my homespun house bag by Molly is the name of the lady that made it, woman that made it. And I received this, I think it was 2 years ago I bought it, with a few items from her as well. And it's my favorite Christmas bag that I have. I also have another one somewhere, which I'll show you a bit later, but it has the bell on it, which is one of my favorite things. When I first started listening to the Knit Sonic podcast, her first episode, she talked about sheep bells, and this kind of reminds me of it. I have a thing with bells at Christmas. I like putting them on the doors so that when someone comes in, you hear the jingling, and it's just really festive. So maybe I'll show you some pictures of my bells at the end of the podcast today. Anyhow, these are my Christmas socks, and I'm calling them my Sounds of Christmas socks because we posted on Ravelry the name of the yarn. It's opal yarn, and now I can't find my tag. Where did it go? Anyhow, it's opal, and it's, I would say, the way you say it in German is something like Klangenwelten, maybe? I'm not sure, I don't speak German. Anyhow, one of the girls that is in our Ravelry group commented and said that she would translate that word from German to English, and what she came up with was soundscape. There's the Klingenwelten by Opal. So, Sound of Christmas socks. I have one that is nearly done. It needs just an afterthought heel right here where this white line is. That's where it will be put in. And then my second one is progressing. Natasha got some of these little holder things, and they're great. So I was losing a lot of stitches off the end of my needles, and as you remember, maybe if you watch the podcast, Natasha uses these and loves them. So now I'm on board with that. All right. These socks need to be completed and on my Tootsies by December 24th. I got to wear them in the evening. And there's still time. We have a knit along, Cal, on the group and Instagram. So if you are so inclined to knit Christmas socks, there's probably at least 15 people, I believe, who have joined, and we would love to have you join as well. Now, some people are asking about Christmas socks. I don't have red and green yarn. I can't get red and green yarn. What do I do? Can I still join? And the answer is yes. For this knit along, we really want people to join, but we don't have really any expectations of you. It's just fun. It's just something to do and share together. One of my friends from Ontario, Helen, she's knitting socks for a Christmas gift. So for her, that's what Christmas means. It means giving. So that's her contribution. There's other people who are knitting like pinks and browns in their socks, and they, I think that one is called, it's something to do with Rudolph. My sister's knitter, they're your socks. What is her name? It's Rudolph's girlfriend, anyhow. It's named after her. So we would love for you to join in. So please go look up the Ravelry group and join us on the Christmas Sock Cal if you are so inclined. So that's those Christmas socks. I have an ornament in progress. I have a few ornaments in progress that I am making. I can show you this. No, where'd it go? It disappeared. It was in my Forgotten Fox project bag, but now it's gone. Oh, I know where it is. One of these ornaments, not this one, but one similar, was sent out to Molly of a Homespun House. You might have the ornament before this even goes to air. I'm not sure. Oh, it's all a mess. I kind of just threw it in my bag earlier, which those of you with type A personalities are probably out there cringing right now. But that's what it is so far. It looks like an upside down Christmas tree. It's not going to be a Christmas tree. It's just an ornament. So that's coming along. It's knit in scraps of the ivory is black trillium fibers, and the green is from a swap parcel that I received, and it's Madeline Tosh. It's one of those unicorn tails, I believe. Also in here, I have my Cozy Memories blanket, which hasn't progressed any further. Here it is. You can see it. All right, there's something else I really want to show you, but it may be for Natasha for Christmas, and Natasha is going to be the one editing this video this week, so you guys are going to have to wait to see it. I wanted your opinion because those are my works in progress generally. I still have my Nordic socks on the needles, and they're coming along nicely. Let's see here. Here they are. Again, one done. A mini one on the needles. But in addition to all these socks, I need to start knitting something else because I just do. So I know that I had talked about a couple of the yarns that I purchased at Knit East, and one of them was for the Yetza's Bolero vest. Well, it's a bolero, so it's not a vest, but, and the other one was for a sweater, the same but different sweater. And I wanted your opinion on what you think I should cast on next. It's coming up Christmas, I have time off. Do I want a quick and easy project that I can potentially wear sooner, or do I want to spend some of my time working on a more time-intense project? So give me your opinion, please. I'd love to hear what you think. That being said, I have some languishing works in progress, really. In the first episode, I showed you my mitered square blanket, and typically I work on that over the holidays. As I mentioned, my partner TJ goes away at Christmas, and he left on Friday. So I feel like I really should be whipping out this blanket, and maybe this year actually finishing it. That will be a goal, I think. And then another thing that I have on my needles is a cabled monstrosity of a sweater. I started it last year, the year before, during the Fringe and Friends knit along. It's the Amanda cardigan. We'll see if that gets finished. It probably won't, but I'm really going to do a push for the blanket, which means I need to finish the item for Natasha, which is not a problem. It's easy peasy. Well, no, it's not easy peasy. It's very, very special and labor intensive, but it will be done by December 21st. And the socks, the 2 pairs of socks will be done fairly swiftly, I believe. And then the blanket. And then whatever else I decide to cast on, right? The bolero or the cardigan. So I'd love your opinions on all that, if you have any to share.
Now, acquisitions. I just had a birthday. And I don't know, it's just that time of year. I want to show you things that aren't necessarily knitting related. For my birthday from my mom, she was traveling. My aunt and her went away for a sister weekend in November, and they stopped in River John, Nova Scotia at the Lismore Sheep Farm. And my mom picked me up a Thrum mitt kit. And my mom is not a knitter, so this is really great that she got this for me. And I have yet to make thrum mittens, so I'm pretty excited about it. So it's just a nice thread. It's very sheepy. Woolen spun, kind of like Briggs & Little-ish. And she also, again, she's not a knitter, but she picked me up a mini skein for my blanket. It's worsted, but I'm gonna get it in there. It's just a pretty blue. I thought that was really sweet of my mom. So that made me very happy. And as I mentioned at our last podcast, I talked about the fact that Sean was going to Bermuda. And he came home and he bought me a little something while he was there. It's jewelry. He's good for that. He's a good guy. It's from the Alexandra Mosher Studio. This is the little bag. And these earrings have pink Bermuda sand in them, and they're gorgeous. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see them. Nope. It's okay. There's just pink sand on the inside, and I love that they're studs because I have a lot of dangly earrings, but I like studs. I feel like you can wear them, you know, with anything. So that was a little surprise when he came home. So yes, it's her pink sand jewelry line. Show you that. Every year, Sean and I go to Turner's Christmas at the Coliseum, which is a Christmas fair here in Moncton, and we purchase ourselves some special ornaments. So in the end, when we decorate our tree, we have, you know, all of the ornaments kind of mean something to us. So this year we purchased these gorgeous little felted acorns. Aren't those just the sweetest? Sorry. Makes me very happy. And while we were there, there was an alpaca farm that had a booth set up. And obviously I was in there for a long time just looking at all the yarns and touching all of the yarns and knowing I didn't need any. And finally Sean said, babe, if you want to knit me a hat with the gray one, you can. We'll get the yarn. Thank you. So I'm going to knit Sean a hat for shoveling the driveway because this is going to be quite warm. Out of this gorgeous alpaca. It's milled in New Brunswick. It's a local farm. It's the Pettimore family alpacas. Cute little alpaca right there. It's a chunky weight, so I need to make sure I, you know, cast on the right number of stitches for a chunky and not knit it too tight because it is alpaca. There's 105 yards and it is just so soft and squishy and it's just the perfect color of gray. So they're located in Harcourt, New Brunswick. And the lady at the booth was really, really sweet and she had just a ton of gorgeous yarn and also items knit up for sale as well. It was, so that was a treat. And I was very happy when Sean mentioned that I could possibly knit him a hat. And then we were in PEI last weekend, Prince Edward Island, and we went to a couple markets, and one of them was an Etsy pop-up market. So we purchased this decoration for ourselves this year. I shared it on Instagram, so a lot of you have probably already seen it. I just can't get over how gorgeous it is. It's from the Felted Fawn. And I tagged Molly and Danny from A Homespun House and Little Bobbin's podcast because it just, I feel like it's something that they would both love. Two little foxes with hats, with Christmas hats. It's gorgeous. That's how big it is. So it's sitting up on our mantle and I just love it. It makes me so happy. So she is the felted If you search the hashtag the felted fawn, you'll see some other things she's done. There was a rectangular frame with a whole winter scene, snowing, and there were reindeer, and oh my goodness, I wanted all of them. And she actually makes actual felted bunny. There was a unicorn. There was a beehive. Oh, so talented and so beautiful. Ah, that's that. I believe that is everything for acquisitions.
Now I'd like to talk to you about some acquisitions that have come into my possession recently. First of all, I picked up the new Pom Pom Quarterly magazine from my LYS. This one is particularly interesting to me. There is a designer that I've seen a lot of recently, and she actually designed the sweater here on the front. I'm going to pull up her name here. I do follow her on Instagram. And, okay, so the sweater is called Carlu, I believe. Here is the picture. And the pattern designer is Kiyomi Bergen, Kiyoomi. I hope I'm saying that right. And I know she's from Toronto, and she is a twin. And I know that one of these ladies or these girls works at Romney in Toronto, and I was there this summer, and I believe I saw one of them there, and I didn't realize who it was, but since then I followed them on Instagram, and I have seen a lot of their designs being published. They're on a roll. Most of the time it's been in knit scene. I believe Diamond Yarns also has one of their patterns. I say there. I don't know if both of them design or only one. However, either way, they're beautiful, and you should definitely seek them out. I'll post the links. So anyhow, Pom Pom. I have the newest issue, and I haven't actually read all of it yet. I haven't read any of it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Up to this point, I've only purchased the digital versions, but after having one in my hand, I'm torn. Because if I want to get the hard copy going forward, I feel like I should have hard copy from the beginning. Like, I don't want to have years 1 through 3 in digital, and then this starting the 4th year in hard copy. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I should have them all in hard copy or all in digital. And, oh, it's a struggle. I don't know what to do. And then would it be wasteful if I went back and bought all of the hard copies, even though I have the digitals? That would be very wasteful. That wouldn't be a good use of my money. Can you sell digital copies of magazines? I'm not sure. Anyhow, Pom Pom, it's awesome. You should check it out. Speaking of Toronto, my friend Jennifer was recently there to go to the One of a Kind show, and she mentioned that she was going to a pen store on her way to the Purple Pearl. There's this I think it's called Wonder Pen. Anyhow, she was going, and through conversation, I decided that I needed to have a pen. So she picked up for me a Lamy. This is my Lamy pen. Let me see here. Can't really hold it still. Having trouble. The Lamy pens are made in Germany. There you go. You can kind of see it there. They're made in Germany, and this is a very hard plastic. And they said that it's the same plastic that Legos are constructed from. So it can go at the bottom of your purse. It can, you can sit on it and it's not going to break. The thing about this pen, it's not a ballpoint, it's a fountain pen. And I've done calligraphy in the past. This isn't a calligraphy nib, and we have red ink in it right now. And the ink cartridges, I'll show you. So this is a refillable one. And you can just dip it upside down in the liquid ink and suck it in there. So we put the red ink in. I went over to her house on Friday night after I took TJ to the airport, and she did the red ink for me. So Lamy pens. I love pens. When she was in Toronto, she bought me what are these called? A patch? I think they're called patches. In public. In high school, I had a backpack, and it had these patches. They're not called patches. What are they called? Badges? Iron-on things? Anyhow, I had a backpack, and I had a bunch of these on the backpack. So I had a Canada, a Belgium flag, an England flag, like all the places I had traveled, New Brunswick flag. I don't think I have the pack anymore, but I gotta figure out a good place to put this. Maybe I'll have to acquire or sew a project bag that gets this especially put on it. We'll see. As you may remember, I participated in a mini skein swap that started this summer, and it was Natasha. This was before the podcast. Natasha, and then Deb, Spins a Good Yarn is her name on Instagram, and Juniper Grace. I'm trying to open the box. Grace, I got your parcel, which you know, sparkly tape. Yay. And it says to open, fold up metal clasps. There's little metal clasps. And I'm trying. I'm kind of curious, like this box has a little swatch on the side of fabric. I think it was a bow tie. Oh, here we go. Got it. And in it, there is a little nitpicks card, and it's very sweet. She says, like, we write letters to each other all year round. So there's a letter, and then on the back, she has some suggestions, a list for you, which was timely because I was having a really horrible day when I received this, and it just made me feel warm. So her list for me is, or a list for you too, drink a cup of tea and read something wonderful. Pay it forward the next time you visit Starbucks. Look in the mirror and say, I'm beautiful. And number 4, know that you are loved across the miles. That was really sweet. It made me feel really like I had a friend on my side that day. So in that parcel, she sent 2 David's Tea sachets, Chocolate Rocket, the ultimate trip. So I would assume it's just like hot chocolate. Ooh, it's a stimulant. Cool. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to for sure. And she sent a little stick with some pussy willows. Pussy willows. It's like they grow in my ditch in the fall. Or is it the spring? It must be the spring. Yeah, they're really sweet. They're called pussy willows here. They may be called something else other places. They had a glow-in-the-dark star. And then mini skeins, of course. I'm going to show them to you really quick. I'm not going to show... I haven't even unwrapped all of them, so I don't know what they all are, but... Okay, let's get this right, Meredith. This is Brooklyn Tweed. This one is Space Cadet Creations. As you can see, there's definitely stellina in it. Sparkliness. This one is Lollipop Yarns. You can guess the name of the color. Well, it has two names, which the second one I never would have thought of because I don't watch sports. Bumblebee is the one I thought of, and the second is Pittsburgh. So that's a sport. Well, there's a team from Pittsburgh that plays sports. Don't laugh at me. This one, is Sweet Georgia Tough Love Sock. I like it. I like her stuff. This one, I'm not sure what this one is. I haven't unwrapped it yet. Let's just unwrap it. Hand spun by Grace. Flamingo Croquette. It's MCN from Port Fiber in Portland, Maine. We'll come back to this one. I have something else to show you. Here is a really funky one. It is Ancient Arts BFL. It's called Modern Sampler. She bought this on Salt Spring Island to make a hat. This one, oh, this one is so soft, guys. My lighting isn't the best tonight, but I want it to be in front of the tree. This is Caterpillar yarn in the Victoria colorway. It's her favorite self-striping yarn by far, and it's a 70-20-10 MCN. It's called Concrete Tulips is actually the colorway. She sent some wonderful ones here. This one is Wandering Wool, 80-10-10. Superwash Merino Cashmere Nylon. So this yarn was a gift from Paula and Mama Pat all the way from SSK. And it's called, the colorway is called Knitting in the Nashville Light. Cool. It's 4 more. Rain City Knits from Vancouver. It's called Graffiti, and it's 75-25 Superwash Merino Nylon. And Rain City Knits is also one of her favorite dyers. So I can see why. She does some really good stuff here. Here's another one I haven't unwrapped yet. They're like almost like unwrapping little fortune cookies. This is Aggie Johnson Fiberworks wool nylon, and it was scored from Barb at the first Maine retreat as a birthday gift. All right, 2 more. Quince & Co. Finch. This is one of the Gull colorways. Gray, I love it. And this yarn made the first Paula EF shawl I ever knit. Quince will always be my favorite. I'm not sure what Paula EF means. I have to ask Grace. Grace, what does it mean? And the last one is Fat Squirrel Fibers. No idea the content or color. It was a gift at the Maine retreat. Speaking of Fat Squirrel Fibers, so that's from Grace. Thank you very much. Fat Squirrel Fibers. I have a bag by Fat Squirrel. It's my Santa bag, and it has spinning fiber in it at the moment. I just happen to have it out. that's all for my acquisitions that I have to show you this week.
So on to wool gathering woolies. What I wanted to talk about first was Meredith and I had mentioned that we will be highlighting one group member and their project that they shared to the group. So this week I'm going to be highlighting, I have chosen Mamatronics Carite or Carite. It's a hat, and she knit it out of January Yarns merino, oh my goodness, merino worsted, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So she shared this to the group, and I will just show you. I think it's beautiful. Reverse, oh no, it looks garter. I was gonna say it's reverse stockinette, but it looks like garter. And the yarn just looks scrumptious. Look at that. So thank you. What is her name? Hold on. Should have been more prepared today. Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that with the group. Love it. Keep sharing. And Michelle as well. Yeah, in the group. Her Rav name, I can't remember her Rav name. It's a different Michelle, but she had asked about a weaving in the ends tutorial, and I thought, yeah, I'll do it. I'll show it on the podcast. But Shannon Cook and Jane Richmond, I can't remember. I think it was on Shannon's, So Very Shannon, her website, or it might have been on Jane's blog. But they have done an incredible, it's the tutorial that I use when I know how to weave in on reverse stockinette side. I took a finishing class a couple of years ago, and finally, that was after Meredith undid my sweater. But I had never done it on the stockinette side, so when I Googled it, I found this tutorial, and it's incredible. It's very well done. It's just pictures, but step by step. So I'm going to link that in the show notes. So if you want to check that out, I highly recommend it. It is the best tutorial I have found on weaving in the ends, and you can't tell at all. So, and I also I forgot to do this the past couple of days, but I wanted to kind of spread it out because we don't have that many. But if you guys wanted, I created a hashtag, wool gathering podcast ornament of the day. So, but I did just WGP ornament of the day, because I have a lot of ornaments on my Christmas tree that are ornaments only a knitter would love, and I want to highlight those. And the first one that I did was the acorn, because they're felted, but I have like 10 ornaments that I just love because I'm a knitter, and they're yarn balls, or they're knit and they say snow and they look like cabled sweater. So if you guys want to participate, I think it'd be really fun. If you have any ornaments on your Christmas tree or Christmas decorations in your home that are ornaments knitters would love, I think that the hashtag WGP for Wool Gathering Podcast ornament of the day would be really fun. And today's the 14th, so we still have 10 days until Christmas that we can share those with each other. So that would be really fun if we all did that. So up to you, but please do. And I think that's it for things I wanted to mention.
All right, dear Woolies, this portion of the podcast is all about you. There's a few things that Natasha and I are going to talk about. I hope we don't repeat ourselves, but if we do, please bear with us. The first one is somebody on the forum, I believe, had asked us to do a tutorial on weaving in ends, and it's an excellent request. However, if we did do it, we wouldn't be the first people to do so. And so I believe Natasha is going to point you in the direction of some other people who have done a tutorial and done a very good tutorial. So I'll let her do that. Now, that being said, Molly from A Homespun House also mentioned she would like to do a tutorial on weaving in ends recently. And Clara Parks has said something about this as well. And I was looking back through my Knitties notes and I found her when she said this. She just essentially said, weave in your ends before you wash a garment. Not sure why, but that's her advice, so. This week, I belong to a Facebook group. I belong to a couple, but one of them is called Knit and Chat. And there's a wide variety of people that belong to this group. And one of them had mentioned that she was knitting from a skein and got to the end, and there was a big knot. And she had to cut her yarn to get it untangled, and it was horrible. Well, then I'm like, why the heck would she be knitting from a skein of yarn? Because, like, that's silly. Why would you even attempt that? Which I know people have when they're new knitters and they don't know you're not supposed to do that. Anyhow, I have some yarn here, and I want you to tell me what it is. Okay? Sorry, crinkling. I hate it. Ugh. All right. Here's a thing of yarn. What do you call this? Is this a skein? Is this a ball? Is this a hank? I know what I would say, but I want to know what you guys think. Ball, hank, well, okay. We all know it's not a ball of yarn. Would you call this a skein or a hank? Skein or hank? We're going to weigh in on this. We're going to have a discussion thread about this. Maybe not a whole thread, but I want your opinions because some people were saying all sorts of things. But I guess that's just the question for this episode. Is this a hank or a skein? Yeah. That's what I want to know from you. And finally, we had mentioned in the past that we were going to pick one finished object that was shared in the group every podcast and talk about it. So I would like to highlight the fact that Tanya Marie shared a really cool hat in the group this week. I went and I looked at it, and I'm just going to pull it up here because it just, I don't know, I just really liked it. It looked like something that I would make myself, and it looked like a quick and easy, well, not quick and easy, I don't mean like it looked like it took her an afternoon or an evening to make, but I'll pull it up and I'll give you the name of it here. Ooh, lots of people have been sharing projects, I see. All right, so it was called, okay, I remember why I picked it. She called it the Tamarugo hat, and I liked her picture. I wonder if this will work. Yeah, you can kind of see it. That stitch pattern reminds me of a dishcloth I made once called Little Tents, and I've also seen it in a hat pattern picked by Fringe Association for one of their hat-alongs. Anyhow, thanks Tanya Marie for sharing that with everyone. And yeah, I'd encourage everyone watching, when you are adding your project pictures to Ravelry, there's a place on the right with a drop-down menu, and you can select what groups you'd like to share your project with. So I would encourage everyone to share your projects with us so that we can see what you're making, enjoy what you're doing, and possibly share it with everyone else too.
And then here and now, what's going on just in general. It was my birthday. Thank you so much to those of you who said happy birthday on the Ravelry group. That was a treat to go on and read all of those posts this weekend and today. it was a very busy but very fun weekend. I was spoiled like usual, but now I need to take my birthday cards down because they're interfering with the Christmas decorations. They're right there on the bookshelf. It's time. I only get to keep them for a couple of days. Also, here and now, Meredith. So this podcast is late, you guys. We were supposed to put it out on Saturday, but it's been very, very busy, and it just didn't happen. So this will be out hopefully Wednesday or Thursday of this week, and then our Christmas episode is going to be out on the 26th of December, so that will be a Boxing Day. Everyone's home on Boxing Day. Cozy up, get your knitting, and you can watch that episode then. So Meredith is actually coming up next Monday, a week from today, and we are going to be recording in another special location for that episode. So I'm excited to get to spend the day with Meredith. Haven't seen her in a while. Rosa, she doesn't want to show her face on the camera. That will be super duper fun. So I'm excited for that, and just trying to get ready for Christmas. I did a bunch of wrapping last night, so the presents are all under the Christmas tree, and we just have a couple more to get. We bought everything for our nieces and nephews yesterday, and the dogs got some presents. I haven't wrapped those because I have a funny feeling. Bean's just waking up. I have a funny feeling that they will know they're under the tree somehow. That's what's going on. It's just been a busy, crazy time. 'Tis the season.
Now I'd like to talk to you about my here and now. So today's the 13th. Last weekend, what was last weekend? Yes, our power went out on Thursday night, which was fine. We have a wood stove downstairs, and we have a propane fireplace, and we all, TJ and the dog, Conrad and I, just went to the bedroom after supper, and I lit all the candles. TJ fell asleep at 7. I read, the dog did whatever, slept probably 2, and that was that. I had my phone, it was all charged, thankfully, and we kept going to the NB Power website, and kept going, and kept going, and kept going. So, you put in your customer number, and it tells you when the power outage is supposed to be over. But I guess it's very hard for them to gauge that accurately, because the power did not come on until Saturday evening, probably 6 o'clock. It came on and went off, and then came back on again. So my neighbor was texting to let me know what was going on here. To make matters worse, on Saturday, TJ had to go to Woodstock for a show, and I was going to follow on Sunday with the dog, but we ran out of propane in the fireplace. So I had to call Irving, book for them to come, and I ended up going to the yarn store in town, hanging out there for a while. I saw a lady that I had seen her one other time at the store, and then I actually saw her there again today. But I went there, had some coffee, got warm, came back home, and said, it's too cold. I mean, it wasn't even that cold. It was just 0 or 1, but it was still really chilly in the house. And it would have taken all day to get heated up with the wood furnace, or the wood stove. So I packed up the dog, we went to Woodstock, hung out with my parents, went on a walk with the dog, and then Saturday TJ did a show with some of his military stuff. The ANA Vets, which is the Army, Navy, Air Force vets. It's an organization not totally dissimilar to the Legion, but different in many ways. They were doing a display, or had displays, along with the Armory's open house. So that was a fun way to spend Sunday. And then we came home, we had power, got things heated up, had supper, and went to bed. It was just a blur the whole weekend. Throughout all that time, though, we have been enjoying the David's Tea 24-day advent calendar of tea. Da-da-da. If you follow me on Instagram, I have been posting every day the tea that I was having. So today's is Buddha Blend. It smells phenomenal. So we're going to taste it. Again, I did taste it once, but... Alright, so I'm going to read to you. It has... So the Buddha Blend, the ingredients are white tea, green tea, jasmine pearls, white hibiscus blossoms, fancy, natural and artificial flavoring, and you only steep it for like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so here it is. I find it bitter. It's okay. Not my favorite. Next year when I do this, I plan to write in my book every day what my thoughts are about each tea so that I can remember which ones I might want to buy in the future. It's been a really fun experience, and like I've mentioned in the past, I'm not the best at following through with things that require consistency. There's been a couple days where I have forgotten the tea or we've been out or whatnot, so I just have it in the morning the next day and then put it on Instagram. Loving it. So that's that. We kind of discussed in the last podcast about just going for the things that you want to go for. And one of the things I've been thinking about is, I don't want to sound cliche, but like designing a hat or a piece of knitwear. So to make my foray into that a little bit easier, I decided to recreate a hat without a pattern. And I do not believe there is a pattern for it. So it's a hat I purchased in Ireland in May. And the woman that I got it from said it's a very old Irish pattern, and it probably is. You know, I believe what she had to say about it. And I found the stitch pattern in one of the it's in the second Treasury of Knitting Patterns by Barbara Walker. Anyhow, I'm not going to show it up too close. The hat's going to be called Evandale. I'm going to put my hand over it. So these are kind of my notes on it and what I plan to make. So I may need some test knitters in the future. So if you're willing to maybe participate in that, let me know. When I was at Jennifer's the other night, the primary reason I went was because she had bought a new spinning wheel and wanted to spin. So I said, I have a spinning wheel, I'll spin with you. And I know I had just mentioned some of Port Fiber. This was this yarn from Grace that she spun. And that's what I started working on the other night. So here's my fluff ball of Port Fiber. So this lighting makes it look like navies and oranges, but in reality it's like grays and pinks and rusts. It's really fun. It's been spinning up nicely. I'm not going to take my bobbin off because I did have some trouble getting it off the other day. There was some rust on it, so I need to fix that. But yes, one other thing I did want to show you, and I forgot in acquisitions, but we have a place here called Frenchies, and it's where you can get clothes, secondhand clothes, pretty inexpensively, and that's where I buy, you can get comforters that are damaged, and I stuff those in the dog's bed. But while I was there, I found this pillow. It's got, well, you can see what it's got, little deer and little angels on it, and I think it's adorable. But I don't know if I'll keep it a pillow or if I had a friend who could sew, who would like turn it into a project bag. I don't know if there's enough fabric. It's one of those things you keep as is until you make your decision. Definitely, I think. that's all for my here and now.
The last thing I wanted to talk about was what's grabbing my attention. Sean and I have been watching the Netflix series Chef's Table, and we're kind of foodies. Sean's an amazing cook, so that's something that we watch. And it's just incredible, the stories of these people who their love of cooking and their love of food has brought them to this place, and they've done amazing things, not only for, when it comes to eating, but also this movement of farm to table. And every single episode I cry because it's just really amazing to see that much passion and to hear these people speak of everything they've gone through and everything they've done to own this restaurant, or, it's just amazing. So I highly recommend checking that out on Netflix. Chef's Table is what it's called. It's a good, Netflix binge watch that show. Why not? And then I also, Joji Locatelli just came out with it was a couple weeks ago now, but she has a new collection, the Authentic Collection. So there's 11 patterns, and I want to knit all of them. I don't know if I could. No. But just check it out on Rav. It's the Authentic Collection, and you can get the whole thing for $22 US, which is a pretty good deal for 11 patterns. Or you can just, if you only like a couple of them, just get a couple. But I think that I'm definitely going to be knitting one of the cardigans in 2016, and possibly a hat and a shawl. It's gorgeous. So check that out.
This time of year, there's a lot of things that jump out and grab me. Of course, some of those things I will reach out and grab back and purchase for myself or for friends for Christmas. And one of those things in particular there's been a couple Kickstarters that have really just made me feel like I needed to participate. And the first one is by Viola Yarn, and it's called Viola Meets Mooresburg. And that Kickstarter ended a couple days ago, or last week sometime, and she was successful in funding her project. She was actually so successful that I believe she raised more than triple her original requested amount. So the amount that she was requesting was around $5,000, and she wanted to use it to help refurbish a new dye studio in Mooresburg, Ontario. She ended up raising, I believe, over $16,000. So be on the lookout for more great things from Viola Yarn. The second Kickstarter that caught my attention was called Farm Yarns, and unfortunately the website isn't up yet, but and actually her date ended as well, and it wasn't successful in funding, which I feel really poorly about because she had a cool idea. It was just, breed specific yarns essentially. I don't know if you can still go read about it on Kickstarter.com, but it was called Farm Yarns. And I feel like one of the things she said in her write-up was that her project was worthy of your time and attention. And so I did take the time to read all of it, her description and what she was looking for the money for. And I feel like it was absolutely a worthy cause. And I don't know why hers didn't catch the attention of so many people like the Viola one did. And I feel really bad for the project because I do feel that she's very discouraged, likely, that she didn't raise the money that she wanted. And, I don't even know how to describe what I'm feeling, but I just feel bad that such a worthy project didn't get what it needed to launch. I don't know if you can relaunch Kickstarters, But if you can, I definitely would love to be a part again of this Farm Yarns initiative. So if any of you hear anything about it, let me know. I believe the woman who was launching it was from Indiana or Illinois, I believe. Anyhow, she has some beautiful cards, sheep paintings. I believe she does oil paintings and then prints them onto cards. So I want to get some of those, so you might see them in a future episode.
I should mention as well, what am I wearing today? I am wearing the Drakenfels shawl by Melanie Berg, which is the shawl that I received from my shawl swap partner at Knit East this past October. Stripes on stripes, love it. I think that's all. I need to go sew the buttons on my cardigan and get back to work. I'll see you guys on December 26th. Have a Merry Christmas, enjoy your holidays, and happy knitting. Bye.
All right, well, that's all for me this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you are enjoying this time of year, whether you celebrate Christmas, solstice, Hanukkah, December, a work holiday, the New Year, anything. I hope you're enjoying yourself and just you're happy. I hope that you're all happy. And we're going to be recording December 21st at a new location in Moncton, outside of Moncton. So I can't wait to see you all then. Happy knitting.